glad you're here. But before I even go any further, I would love to share with you why I am speaking right now. I would like to give you a little bit of my background. Hi, everyone. It is Sarah here. You can call me the mother of nations. I am so glad that this time has finally arrived for me to speak into your lives. With everything that is going on right now around the world, especially playing out in America before us, I felt I had something to contribute. I want to clarify this, that whatever I'm going to be relaying to you is outrightly from me. I'm completely unapologetic about what I'm going to be saying. Because I feel it is going to be instrumental towards something. So let me give you just a little bit of background of who I am and how I was raised and why I love thinking and why I'm even creating this dialogue, this platform of thought. I was raised by a single mother in Africa, and that is Uganda, East Africa. My mother imparted in me and my siblings such great wisdom, At one point when I was growing up, I was like, my mother is such a disciplinary, she wanted everything. She was just to the point that the young me felt like it was too much, I could exemplify with some of the people out there, with the parents that you have where you feel like whatever they're saying is just gone beyond. But right now, when I look at the world we are in and what is going on, I can tell you that I am so grateful for my mother, how she raised us, and everything that she imparted into our lives. That right now I can say this is such great treasure that is a blessing into my life right now. For example, I recall her say to the 6-year-old me, Sarah, think, and she practically engaged this growth of comprehensive thinking capabilities within me using simple ideas, simple ways that she kind of pulled that out of me. For example, there is this really dish. It's called ugali. Some of you might call it posho or kawunga, depending on where you come from, maybe Kenya or Uganda or where here. It's mainly cornmeal. But I love that. I love to eat it with either vegetables or pretty much anything. But I just enjoy it specifically with the beans. So my mom knew that I knew exactly how to prepare this dish. It's actually really so basic and very simple. It is just water, like hot water, and the flour, and then you mix those two. When the water is ready, it is as simple as that. So my mom would say, okay, Sarah, we're going to prepare this today. I already know what we're going to prepare, right? And then she would say, bring me a saucepan. And I bring it and I sit down beside her. And then she would tell me, bring me water. And I go and I bring the water. And then she would say, bring me the spatula, this mingling stick that is used to mingle. And I'll go and I bring it. And until at some point I'll be like, Mom, why didn't you tell me to bring everything at once? And that's when she looked at me and smiled and said, Sarah, a weak mind troubles the feet. I will repeat, a weak mind troubles the feet. And she went ahead to help me understand that when you know what needs to be done, don't wait to be told, especially when you know that what you need to do is the right thing, is the good thing. Don't just wait to be told. There is a reason why you already know it. So go ahead and do the right thing. It's gonna be productive. So in simple ways like that, she helped to shape that analytical thinking, that comprehensive thinking, that way of thinking that does not wait, for people to just tell you. You just go ahead and do what needs to be done. And then just to go ahead, she told me something really very important, like, do not speak when you're angry. Guys, do not speak when you're angry, because you might say things that you will regret later. And then she specifically cautioned me and my siblings not to write anything when angry, because you can write something that can never be erased. And I think you can you can come on the same platform with me here, because when you, for example, if you send an angry email, all that outburst, or you post something on Facebook, you may never get to erase this, especially if it's already released to the person. That person will receive it, and you'll never be able to erase it out of the media, and you'll never be able to erase it out of that person's mind. So you don't have to just do things, just quickly write that, and just like that. Hi, everyone who's on there with me. You are welcome. And then she went ahead to caution us neither to speak back to angry people, but rather to wait until the person has calmed down, then explain ourselves, especially if you really feel like whatever the situation is needs to be addressed. But do not speak to angry people, because guess what? It's just like fire by fire cannot quench each other. You have to come with a different measure. If you need to combat fire, then you have to bring in water. So you're coming from a different angle, rather than just combating fire with fire, anger with anger. That you should play at a different platform. In fact, in my culture, the African culture again, the women are told that when a quarrel erupts within a family, let the woman pick a stone and put it underneath their tongue. Now, someone out there, you may be saying, oh, seriously? So the woman has to be carrying a stone by her all the time on her person just to have that stone by them? No, this is a parable actually, which carries a lot of wisdom. It means in order to diffuse whatever is going on, there has to be somebody who has to act wise. Somebody has to act different, and it can even be a simple thing as just keeping quiet. I know that is very hard, because most of us, especially in a quarrel or something, you want to release everything that you need to say, but sometimes you need to learn when to just zip up or keep quiet, or when to just wait when the atmosphere has changed, then you speak later, whereby even you're creating the atmosphere where whatever you need to say will be received well, and it will be projected well, and it will be understood. So that is why the women in my culture are cautioned to put the stone underneath the tongue. And the other reason behind it is because, women in my culture, especially in the African cultures, you hear all about this because they're supposed to be the ones submit before their husbands. That is one of the reasons, same thing. Why a child, anybody, it is kind of like a form of the authority, recognizing authority. So in this case, even a child has to respect, the parents. So in this case, it would be the child to put a stone underneath the tongue in order to let, the parents speak into, the child's life. It is the same thing. So what am I talking about here? Guys, you just need to learn when to act differently in order to quell whatever is going on and create an atmosphere that pacifies the situation rather than escalating it. Then I'll tell you a little bit more, like some of the wisdom that my mother has really has packaged for me and my siblings that has really blessed my life for a long time. She always reminded us to have a rich heart, so we are not driven by material things and not to fight for wealth, but rather to work for what is ours and then attain it. In other words, somebody is not even going to come after you and say, "Or I gave you this." No, because you worked for it. So it will be respectable. It will be a blessing. These things are really so wonderful, having a rich heart. I know the opposite is also true. When you are poor, poverty comes in different ways. There is mental poverty, there's emotional poverty, there is character poverty. It goes beyond and beyond. When you are delinquent in some area, believe it or not, you are acting from a place of weakness. You are acting from a place that is really so low that whatever is coming out of you is gonna be disastrous. Whenever you feel like you should know yourself. When you know that you are poor in a certain area, delinquent in a certain area, or some part of you is still under growth, then you need to guard it. You need to protect it, Otherwise, what you're gonna release is gonna surprise everyone before you, And before you know, you've already released what you're not gonna be able to bring back, So evaluate things, evaluate where you are weak, and see where you can change. If it means you don't need to, you don't need to speak all the time, and never be coerced by anybody saying, "Oh, you've not spoken, so you are missing out on history." No, you don't have to speak if you're not supposed to speak. Wait until your time, and you will know when it is the right time to do something. Never be coerced by people to do what you know you're not ready to do, because otherwise you're gonna fall in the frying pan, and you're gonna burn really well.